Hi everyone, Amos here, and today I'm bringing you up the draft analysis for the YCL season 4, I believe. They invited me to join this season, and because PAX ended and we're about to close SBU soon, in a few weeks, so I decided why not to join another final league before the Diamond Problem Mech. So yeah, I hope to do well there because I didn't really hear about that league. I did saw some videos of it, but besides, I didn't really know anyone there. So really happy that I can met more people there, pretty much. And for this league, it's a bit like PAC will be just standards, pretty much. So like no S rank or low tiers. It's just like point system. It's a classic one, just on Wi-Fi. And your Montreal Skorupis are gonna coach in season, like I said. So to start, I think we're just start out jump to the point and talk about the ones I picked up and the reason for why and the draft overall. So if I remember, I got like fourth in my draft pool because the drivers like if I separate in two draft pools, then it was separated into four. Yeah, like four battle pool. If I say so correctly, it's like 6% per pool, like 12% per draft, if I remember. And with fourth place, there was a lot of really good Pokemon there. There was like Dragapult, there was Urshifu, single strike allowed. Like, pretty sure those were the two first pick, and then it was like Mew, which was fine by me. I already used Dragapult once, and I didn't really use it well. Mew, I already used it in pack, and Urshifu, well, I would have said not to try Urshifu, but it was fine because instead I got Cinderace. And that's not just the real regular Cinderace. It's because it is in the same categories as said Pokemon that I just said, and for that, it means that it is effectively Libero. Just straight up. This ability is just strong. Cinderace is already a great Pokemon and so on, but with Libero, it's just nuts. Like, just Choice Band drops everything. And his U-turn are just so strong. He has very strong move. Uh, Compared to Greninja, who has who is the original Protean, for me, Greninja is better because he can do more than just attacking. But I don't say that just to make Cinderace bad. It's really strong. Technically, it's even stronger than Greninja. It's just that Greninja has more utility. Is what I'm trying to say here. But yeah, I'm really happy to make it. This thing is a thumbnail maker. Like a lot of draft on Wi-Fi in the start of Storage Shield at Cinderace being the thumbnail because of its animation with Pyroball, and I'll probably do that as well if Cinderace shines there for sure. So yeah, I'm really happy that I got it. I know there was other people that wanted it, so happy that I was able to get it instead. Yeah, I really wanted to try this thing on Wi-Fi for a long time, just because of how people use it on their purpose perspective. So yeah, so that was my first pick. Really happy that I got it. Yeah, yeah. Also, this is how I'm doing my montage for my thumbnails. Don't laugh at me. You're not watching me for the quality. You're just watching me because you're watching me. If this is a problem, well, you have to deal with it. You won't find quality with me. So yeah. So to pair up with Cinderace with my next pick. So like then after that, there was like eight people after me that can pick twice before I can get another pick. Then it'll be three other people that can double pick before I do. So next up, I was able to grab Salvion, a great fairy type to pair with Cinderace. Fire and fairy is just really strong together. Like fire just destroy the steel type that ruins the fairies, and like yeah, and the fairies can slay the dragons for the fire. Yeah, but it's basically just basically an evolution that is excelling with support for the team. But it makes up for it for being a support by doing a lot of damage as well. Hyper Pixely boosted hyper voice always leave a chunk, even the uninvented. But even that, if support is not even a thing, like I said, you can just go offensive and just shine with it. You also gain shiny access to mystical fire, an upgrade from Eden power compared to the last generation, making it even stronger. It also, so yeah, it's for me it's great. Pairing with it, with Pokemon like Urshifu allowed, having a fairy is mandatory. Although, well, I think it just collect Banded Wicked Blow every single time and kill something with it. So yeah, that'll also be nice for Cinderace to recover because something I love on Cinderace is like the bulky variant who still does a lot of damage, but it can get can take hits. So having a Wish Passer on it can really help to make that set even more useful. So yeah, for me, it's a good pick that I made. I'm happy that I got it. So next up, to pair by following up Sylveon, I decided to grab Nido King, a wall breaker in its own right. Sheer Force, it's a great ability. Nido King learns super strong coverage on the special side that are boosted by Sheer Force to compensate for his slow special attack. Life Form makes it a killing machine. Like, I think the only problem with it would be its speed tier. Like 85, that's not a speed tier that I like on offensive Pokemon that are not the bulkiest. But Nidoking definitely can take hits because I'm usually a Nidoqueen fan more because her speed tier is even lower, so I can just allow to max investment in bulk and special attack, and technically will hit harder than Nidoking will do. But in a other league that I'm not doing uploads, I drafted a Nidoqueen there, so I wanted to try Nidoking instead. I don't want to say Nidoking is bad. Like the two of them are so good. It's really hard to really say who is the better one. It's just a matter of which one do you like more. So I'm gonna try the other one here. Yeah, yes, good. So like I said, great coverage, great power. Like it can be just a, or if power is already enough, I can just slap a choice scarf if fix speed issue. Also, yeah, although Nidoqueen is more the bulkier one, bulky Nidoking is nothing to laugh about. I know there's a lot of people that run like the Poison Point bulky Nidoking set just to counter electric types like Zeraora and Tapu Koko. So, and because also those are big, maybe I could run also those set. But yeah, it's a great subback electric type that will be faster than Cinderace. So yeah, I'm happy I granted that give also my poison type. I grounded one in fact, and both were away by touching the ground and being a ground type. So yeah, it also being able to sell toxic packs can make just Sylveon better because he can Sylveon can just there do his thing while the opponent will just be chipped down. So yeah, that's another good pairing that I have here that I like. So next up, as of right now as removal goes, Nidoking is the only setter which it can do, but I don't necessarily want to do it every time. And Cinderace is the only quote-unquote removal with core chains, so I need to prioritize on hazard and hazard removal. So for my next pick, I grab Starmie, a great Pokemon, a bit fallen from the previous generation, but it's still great. Rapid Spin being also in this generation is also good because it makes me fast. It was already fast, even faster. It also has yeah, I think the king has great coverage. Also, two rare abilities, either natural cure to do shrug off status like scald spam or anything, or an analytic to make his hit even harder to deal with on a switch. And then what second I say about Starmie? Well, yeah, bulky set or like Cinderace, bulky set works fine on this thing because it's fast. So it can use its high speed to defensively chase a lot of Pokemon while being able to survive a hit then recover. That's also a nice benefit on the team that I like. So yeah, for me, yeah, it's basically just here to spin. Yeah, I'm not telling you well, Starmie at all, but no, you're a great Pokemon. Definitely by far, yeah. YCL since Generation 1. That's just to show how good you are. Yeah. So, next up, since Nidoking could run rocks, but I don't necessarily want to, everyone that could run rocks most of the time will be Dradagon. The thing I wanted to try out for a long time, but never went to because it was just overshadowed by every other dragons. Because those dragons are faster and stronger, but Dragon is really strong in its own right, but it's really slow. It's basically just a bulky setter that can like ignore other abilities. But this thing doesn't have to be slept on anymore. Like it gains skill shots in this generation, which works even with Shearfrost, so that you still get the major defense boost, but you still also get the plus speed boost. So then you can use like your other coverage that work with Sheer Force, like Iron Head or Gunk Shot, Fire Punch, things like that. Or you can just go with the usual set to punish physical attackers with Rock Skin and Rocky Helmet while paralyzing everything with Glare. A really nice status to have here, especially if you need looking to compensate for its slow speed as an offensive Pokemon. That's pretty much what I have to say about Dragon. It's just simple as that. I just said what this thing can do pretty much. I hope I'm gonna make you sound better on match than here, Dread. Yeah. So next up, from one physical wall to another, Tangrowth. Just straight Regenerator is a great ability in this. Also, I think I noticed on my things that I have a big life of knockoffs, which in this league especially, knockoff can be really more useful than any other time because there is a item clause in this season that only allows one different item on each Pokemon. So if something like let's say that I give Cinderace heavy duty boots. That's the only thing that can have heavy duty boots on this thing. I have to give something else to other Pokemon. So that's why I say that knockoff is even more handy here. So like even I knock off something that yeah I can be like, oh okay, this means that there's nothing else on the opponent that have this item. Like if I knock off boots, nothing else has boots. If I knock off a leftovers, nothing else has ease. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, from knockoff aside, knockoff is a great. It's just a great ball. Like it's legendary gun, you can just either go on the pure physical defense way and punish physical attackers, or it can even become a special one with Assault Vest to compensate for its low special defense, and then with Regenerator healing up the damage it takes. We don't necessarily rely on Sylveon for wish passing, which can still happen if Tangrowth is like I will need to do a lot of switches just to take Tangrowth back to full health. But like Dragon, it can also pass status that can help for the entire team in Sleep Powders and Stun Spore, precisely. And offensively, it's also pretty strong. Like even uninvested, it moves like Giga Drain and Earthquake do packs a punch. And yeah, that would be also funny if somehow I perform to do a sunny day Tangrowth set. That could definitely work because then it will be offensive and be even more powerful. But most of the time, you'll be just a wall to make sure the team doesn't cripple to any other attacks like ground, which at this point didn't have any single resist or immunity. So great to add. So next up, because I speak of knockoff being really useful there. It was time for me to run my dark type because Sammy was the only thing that could resist those, and this time I wanted to go with Bisharp. I didn't really try Bisharp at all, like ever. The only time I drafted it was an Uber League, but I didn't use it week one, and I felt like I wouldn't use it anywhere. I wouldn't use it in the rest of the season, so I just dropped it. But I know Bisharp can be a beast to switch in, so I want to give it a chance there instead. Lifetime Rope, its knockoff is very vicious, even more there because it's stronger and it's a dark type on top of that. Sucker Punch is great priority to have to pair up with Cinderace. So So a dark type that can slam the fairy type easily is also valuable here. Since the since Nidoking was the only resist too. Well, Bishop doesn't resist. It's just what I meant that this dark type can deal with fairy types easily, so they can make Nidoking a bit easier to deal with fairies too. Is what I'm trying to say. He also has rocks, but at this point I already have Nidoking, at this point I already have Dragon, so I can just free up a move slot for Bishop. I can just give it like Sword Dance with 3 attacks with knockoffs or Sucker Punch Iron Head. That'll just do just fine. I can just slam locate if something if I really wanted to. But yeah, I just want to use Bishop. I never use it. The only time I did pick it, I just dropped it. I want to give it a good chance because I know this thing can be fearsome when it enters the field. And next, now we're pretty much entering the lower tier section of my team. Like the 7 you just saw is pretty much the best Pokemon I have. And after the next one, then you'll be like in the worst of the barrel. So after that, I decided to grab Regigigas. This yeah, at first this thing has beastly stat, but has the worst ability of all time in slow start. But luckily, Generation 8 may not have given it another ability, but give it the tools to make it easier than ever to start at slow start. Because now he has finally has gained rest and protect. Really important to start out the ability. And then it's just a matter of using like power up punch to boost out, knock off to be useful while being the slow starts. And when Regigigas is not even the slow start, it's a beast, like by a mile. It can bulldoze through everything because it can take every single hit, even though it's a normal type. It has no resistance outside of Ghost, but it's so tight, it's so huge that it'll take more than just one single hit to get it down. And with Sylveon to give it wish passing, that will help in the recovery department. Like if I want, I was able to build those a lot, but then I need Regigigas again later. Just wish pass coming later and install the ability again. I already used Regigigas once in Gen 8 for the same gimmicks as there, and I was able to succeed. So I know now I hope I was able to do it in Wi-Fi as well. Yeah, so that's for Regigigas. Next, the fastest thing I have on my team was Cinderace, so I wanted to have even more speed. Technically, I think something like a 105 base speed would have helped there because the 100 is Regigigas, which has slow start anyway. But instead, I went something even faster, Jolteon. Flying Flying is actually pretty strong here since they only resisted Bisharp, which doesn't have the greatest special defense ever. Jolteon may not be a special wall, but it can definitely take those flying hits, unless it's something like a powerful Brave Birdos, or like a secondary stab that instead of flying. But like I said, it's just that Jolteon's fast. It'll be mostly here to check those flying types with his high speed. He can keep himself healthy with Wish, so that makes 2 Wish Passer that can potentially help. Not as big as Sylveon, but still useful. Also, it's really not great against ground type this generation due to the loss of hidden powers, but I suppose a Toxic can just do fine. Like, Hyperverse can shoot a decent chunk, not a lot, but still okay. It won't be a star, pretty sure, because at this point, offensively, in speed wise, Cinderace and Stomach would be there. But Jolteon is there. I don't want to sound bad. It's my favorite evolution. It's just unfortunate that it got nerfed in this generation. Just unfortunate. And now the bottom of the bottom as well relies on those 2 picks. So first, Delibird. Yep, I'm drafting Delibird. It's, what can I say about it? It's has one of the worst dual typing possible with crummy stat, especially in the bulk. But why did I draft it then? Well, because I wanted to. But to be honest, the Delbert does have some fun traits in like Assault, pretty much. Like its Ishar can hurt because of the ability. He's also a spinner, but pretty much since boots are pretty much going to be on something else than Delibird, it have to take those 50% most of the time. Yeah, you'll die in one hit anyway, from either from full or at 50%. It doesn't matter. But yeah, at least I suppose they can find suicide lead, like sending out spikes early game using rapid spin to deny opposing hazard, and then hit her with Osel. That could be a thing. But yeah, it's just a small mascot, but not the true mascot that I want for the team. Because the last pick for me is even more funnier. For me, I like Little Cup, so I just have enough fully level Pokemon that pretty much isn't the tier, but is one pretty funny in there. Rufflet. Yeah, what can I say? It's a Rufflet. This thing that is completely nuclear in Little Cup because of also with combination of Brave Bird and close combat. Well, this in regular, yeah, its stats aren't as impressive compared to other stuff, but really, also it's just that strong. If something can somehow get a hit, pretty sure something will die. Even something as Landorus could take a lot of damage. Yeah, that's considering the Tyrion one too. Yeah, because I remember one point I did a low tier league well, low tier league in Gen 7. Like it's someone drafted a Rufflet, and this thing one shot a Mudsdale. Yeah, yeah. That's Rufflet for ya. It's either you hit or you miss and you cry, no matter what happens. So yeah, that's the team for our YCL run. And when I say that, it's because there was the grace period after the draft, and once it was done, then you're stuck with what you picked. So those 11 months that you see there are the only ones I'll be stuck for the rest of the season, and I'm pretty excited to use them. There are it's more Pokemon that I didn't use on Wi-Fi. For me, that's what I like about it. So I hope you're gonna stay tuned to see me in my run. So see ya.